Switzerland is the home of chocolate.
Come on, little flower.
But one Frenchman has no qualms about challenging the Helvetians on their own turf. Stéphane Bonnat was voted best chocolatier in the world. That evening, this native of Isère was making the desserts for a gala dinner at this palace in the ski resort of Verbier. Around him, 10 chefs. 14 Michelin stars.
We're going to make an ice cream whose recipe dates back to the 1800s. Very few people make it.
Because you need a relatively special praline to mix with the cream. And a famous chocolate coulis, which is made, among other things, with Mexican cocoa. Normally, this should be fine.
This Mexican cocoa earned Stéphane a gold medal at the International Chocolate Competition last October. So his revisited Paris Brest attracted the curiosity of Laurent Peugeot and Hervé Rodriguez, two Michelin-starred chefs.
It's authentic. The product is there. When we talk about praline, it's a real praline. When we talk about chocolate, it's real chocolate. It's pure product.
It's a real inner caress. It's not sickening. The balance inside maintains childhood-like nostalgia, a taste that transports us back to those innocent years. We send...
Maybe we'll take them out in sets of 10?
Some 40 customers paid €330 for this meal. Like these British tourists?
Here's an ice cream with almond and hazelnut pralines and a chocolate that was voted best in the world. Intense.
Fantastic, delicious.
Evening. It's perfect, it's great, bravo.
This 50-year-old chef learned everything in the Vercors Mountains, 200 kilometers away from Switzerland. From father to son for 133 years. Stéphane owns 3 chocolate shops and is distributed in over 300 delicatessens across France. He still lives above the historic store. The 2 store managers are his 2 sisters, Flavie and Cécile.
Dear Madam.
Are you well?
Their mother, Nicole, 80 years old and a great guarantor of tradition, lends a hand to the 5 saleswomen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The decor has not changed since the turn of the century. Cups of praline rochers, hazelnut cobblestones and orangettes. Specialties invented in 1884 by Félix and Clotilde Bonnat, the first chocolate makers in France. Ever since, these specialties are prepared in the back of the store. Stéphane has increased production tenfold, but the recipes remain the same, all kept secretly in this grimoire. As old as the chocolate factory?
The famous orange-fingered waffle. Written in pen and ink.
And has been for over 100 years. Easter's bestseller is the shell egg. Real eggs, emptied, sterilized, and filled with dark chocolate and a praline filling.
It's like eating a hard-boiled egg. You tap your neighbor on the head, for example, to break the shell. Then you peel it and eat it just like that. In one go.
Damien is one of 30 employees. This chocolate confectioner garnishes over 1,500 eggs a day, one by hand.
We fill the egg halfway with dark chocolate. I rotate it to really coat it, we call it, so that the chocolate goes all the way to the edge, so that there's chocolate everywhere. No air bubbles, no holes.
Each egg is sold for €7 each. This represents 70% of sales at this time. With all the other Easter figurines,
Apart from the traditional hen bells and eggs, There are little teddy bears and dogs. We have the very French rooster, which we sold a lot of at the time of the euro.
Most of the molds are still in metal and date from the early 20th century.
Our barbel fish. I don't know if it's available in everyone's shops. We even have some molds that used to be very fashionable. We've been told that it scared some children.
Far from his frightening figurines, Damien has imagined a magical creation.
That's what we need to be able to do.
A giant egg with the look of an aquarium.
Make a real seabed out of the shell, the pearl, the corals, the starfish, the dolphins, the colorful fish that pop out everywhere.
Stéphane wants to present it in his Lyon boutique. 1 meter high, 15 kilos. The shell is made up of 20 layers of dark chocolate.
I always brush the first layer so that the chocolate is very shiny.
High-risk production. The egg has to withstand transport. Once the shell has hardened, it has to be pierced with a preheated cookie cutter.
Don't be too hasty, though, as the chocolate could crack at any moment. In any case, it'll break at the worst possible moment when you put it in the display case or take it out. During transport. It'll come out.
Shellfish molding, bluish chocolate projection to imitate the sea. It will take him another 100 hours to perfect his creation. The other specialty of the house are these Grand Cru dark chocolate bars. 45 varieties. Brazil, Peru, Haiti. These images show Stéphane's late father, Raymond. It was his genius idea to work chocolate like wine.
Everyone thinks they know what chocolate is, but cocoa is a little-known product. In fact, it's a fruit. Its taste varies due to country and soil conditions. It has a very different fragrance, just like wine. There are regions and there are floods.
In '84, Raymond made his first chocolate from a grape variety. Beans from Madagascar, Ceylon or Ivory Coast. A few years later, we see him passing on his expertise to Stéphane.
It was well dried.
And give him a taste for travel. For 5 months a year, Stéphane travels the world in search of the best cocoa. He tries to negotiate exclusivity with local communities. He then stores his findings in his alarm-protected bean loft. A treasure estimated at 200,000 euros.
And so,
This morning, he receives a delivery from Jamaica.
very well. You'll take a trolley and then we'll put them to rest. And we'll roast them a little later, tomorrow.
The chocolatier tests around 15 new products a year. And at first glance, he can already make up his mind.
There are too many differences in bean size. We'll have to separate the small beans like this from the big ones like that before roasting, or we'll mess things up, because either we'll roast the small ones very well and the big ones badly, or the other way round, we'll roast the big ones very well and burn the small ones.
Stéphane is one of the last 5 in France to make his own chocolate from bean to bar. Over the past 20 years, this enthusiast has unearthed 56 different types of cocoa. Some of them quite unusual.
Maragnan, a cacao deemed extinct, which I found in the jungle by losing a camera lens cap that had landed in a corner. The cap stops on a cocoa tree that everyone thought had disappeared from the planet. Now that's a really, really good story, especially since the last person to use Maragnan was my father. And the first person to make Maragnan again is me.
And it was one of these recent discoveries that won the title of World's Best Chocolate.
Here it is.
In the dark chocolate category. 30 countries competed for the title.
For the final, there were a total of 724 products in competition. That's a lot of people and a lot of products.
Nicole, were you proud of your son?
Well, oh yes,
Yes.
very proud. Very proud of my son and of all of us.
This chocolate is made from Mexican cocoa, Selva Maya. Its beans come from 5,000-year-old cacao trees. Are not very productive. They had been neglected by manufacturers. Stéphane relaunched the plantation, even if it meant paying 7 times the average price for his beans. To extract their aromas, the beans are roasted, then ground, and mixed with sugar and cocoa butter. Michael the roaster still remembers the first time he tasted the famous Selva Maya.
Yeah, it's funny after so many years already to still be surprised. Even though it's still cocoa, and yet it's more than that. They give you a million pieces of information, in fact, and then there's always a little surprise, a little bit of diligence like that that comes along and surprises you, overcoming an almost improbable note of woodiness that is nonetheless very significant. Getting up in the morning to do this is a joy.
Its tablets are sold at 2 to 3 times the price of the leading brands on the market. And as with all the company's other vintages, the packaging design hasn't changed since 1903.
Here you have the exceptional Grand's Crust, and on this side, the historic Grand's Crust.
Each year, the company sells close to 1 million tablets.
3 Côte d'Ivoire, please.
This customer drives 40 minutes to come here every week.
She's our, how shall I say, #1 Sunday morning customer, not least because he lasts a long time.
Do you eat a lot of it?
No, not a lot, hardly a bar a day.
But it's good for you. It's better than cigarettes.
The company does almost 4.5 million in sales a year.
190, please, thank you.
How often do you spend that kind of money on chocolate?
When we come by, we fill up.
The baptism of chocolate.
We've won over a new customer. Here you go.
That's how you win their loyalty, Nicole?
Of course, we train their taste from an early age.
The company has been exporting its chocolates all over the world since 1880, as has its know-how.
Jacqueline Kennedy.
The head pastry chef at the White House was a pastry chef at Bonnat and was approached by a headhunter.
And he went to the Kennedy Patisserie in Washington. In fact, he was the one who took the chocolates.
Nicole has a reputation at the White House, but above all in Voiron, population 20,000. It's a reputation she's built up in the aisles of the market twice a week for the past 50 years.
Au revoir, monsieur. Hello?
I used to work for them when I was a kid as a seasonal worker. When we went to school, they hired us for the vacations.
Officially retired, Nicole continues to buy fruit for the bakery every week. This morning, with Victor, her grandson,
we've got raspberry cream, pineapple, lemon, orange.
What do we need? Mango? Yes, maybe.
Right. At 80 years old, I still work for chocolate. But for me, it's never been a job, as I've already told you. For me, it's a pleasure to be here. It's not a job at all.
Nicole isn't just the best customer on the market. She's also the one every farmer looks out for, because she provides them with a miraculous product.
Would that be me? 235? Yeah, 235.
With the bean hulls, it's an extraordinary fertilizer. You can't get enough of Bonnat fertilizer.
It's something that it's not on a par with chocolate, but it's not far off.
Stefan is the sole owner of the company. He bought out his sister's shares. But the family remains close-knit. Lunch is often at Nicole's place, on the second floor of the chocolate factory, above her son's apartment.
Shall we go to...
Stefan's 20-year-old son, Vincent, is a business school student. Even Jupiter, the family's big dog, has shown up for the family specialty. Gratin dauphinois.
I know some Michelin-starred restaurants we're good at.
Bon appétit. Here you are.
Thank you for this.
In a family where the trade is handed down from father to son, do we really have the right to choose our vocation?
When Stefan did his military service, he was fascinated by the gendarmerie.
We told him you know Stefan.
If you want to make a career in the gendarmerie, we won't be angry at all. You have to do that. And then Stefan thought, that's an affront to me, to offer me something like that. Because all my life, I'm a chocolatier. I'll be a chocolatier. Well, that's fine.
Yes.
Will you be the next Vincent?
Maybe. Who can say? We'll see about that later.
Since he was 13, Stefan has also cultivated his love of motorcycles.
Here we go. We'll take a useful motorcycle.
He collects them.
This is a motorcycle I was given in Japan.
When he's not hunting for cocoa beans on the other side of the world, Stefan scours the region with his assistant in search of products with the flavors of yesteryear. When cooking ancestral recipes, the challenge is to find ingredients whose taste hasn't changed over the years.
What's over there? Are those beehives too? Yes, it's beehives. So there are beehives over there
For the past
too.
2 years, Jérôme, a farmer in the Hautes-Alpes, has been reserving 6 of his hives for Stefan. They produce a mountain honey that is incorporated into his chocolate recipes.
There's no variation in taste over the years, simply because the local flora is really stable, and then, like very old cocoa, so there's consistency in the recipes too, which are a little over a century old. Whereas with some modern honeys, it doesn't work so well.
Also, it becomes the caramel color.
It's really very good. You can smell a little bread too. You know, when you rub your hands on resin.
Honey that's much more expensive than the average market price.
It's really good.
But Stefan is going to order 70 kilos for almost 1,000 euros. Jérôme, who specializes in atypical breeding, has another surprise in store for him.
So check out the new color. On Marant's hen, something beautiful.
Now that's chocolate color.
Naturally dark eggshells for her famous Easter specialty.
It's one of the few breeds of hen out of the thousands that exist that makes this color. So the Marant makes dark red chocolate eggs. After that, there are other hens that make sky blue, blue or green eggs.
Stefan will be testing 100 or so for his next season. In the meantime, the emergency is the delivery of the giant egg. Damien is fine-tuning the final details.
How many are there? 5? I've got to put one in here.
Everything is eaten, right down to the glue to fix the fish, and the varnish to make the shell shine.
It holds well.
This should arrive under normal circumstances.
To Lyon! An hour's drive away. It's in one of the city's most touristy streets that Stefan opened this store 4 years ago.
There were no after effects. Yes, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll be
Lionel
good.
is the store manager.
So do I add fish or do I add eggs?
Around here, there's nothing to add.
Snow.
He's counting on the aquarium egg to boost Easter sales. 20% of annual sales.
The sailors side with the Easter egg. That's fun.
After Lion, Stéphane will open a store in Paris next year, in one of the capital's most luxurious districts. A consecration for the world's best chocolatier.